So Israel and the Jews are the talk of the town recently, and we have a couple of, factions in this country that wholeheartedly support everything Israel does. As a matter of fact, no matter what it is, it seems like. Maybe Netanyahu could be caught eating a baby's head live on TV, and Dinesh D'Souza and Tatum and the rest of them would be out there explaining how it's biblically okay and it's actually good for the environment. It's a green new diet, and it's really stupid. Look, you can criticize a state government, and that doesn't mean you hate the people who live under that government. I criticize the United States all the time. I don't give a shit if it's left or right. If you're doing something wrong, in my eyes, I'm going to point it out as wrong. And I think what Israel is doing right now is wrong. Now, when it comes to the biblical argument that we are to support and bless Israel, it's bad theology. Dispensationalist theology didn't creep into the Christian lexicon until the 1830s. That meant every Christian alive on earth prior to that had a different understanding of what the Jews in Israel were, right? The idea that Jews are still God's chosen people who are above criticism because criticizing them is anti-Semitic it's flat earth stupid. It's another level of stupid. Nowhere in the Bible do you see in the New Testament Christ saying that the Jews are above reproach. As a matter of fact, Christ criticizes them personally and regularly. What would Jesus do, right? If you're doing something wrong, you're going to get called out for it. I would point to passages like the parable of the vine dresser, just for example. The other thing I would look at is this. We are, according to the Bible, according to the ancient church's teachings, we are living in the end times now. This is the end times. Christ came, he was crucified, he went down, then he went up, right? We're living in the end times. This is the final chapter. The remnant of Jews that would come to accept Christ did that already. They did that at Pentecost. Really, read your Bibles a little more closely, right? That already happened. The wild vine, which is Gentiles, have been grafted in with the Jews who followed Christ, the true Israel. That mixture, that grafting in of Jews and Gentiles together following Christ, that is Israel. The church is Israel. There is not going to be, some later grafting in. It's done. Now, the reason why I think dispensationalist theology is bad is because I think it's dangerous. I think a lot of Christians like Pastor Greg Locke are out there, hooting and hollering about how we need to support Israel and everything they do, and the Jews are all right and everything is great. The problem with that is, if you think that they're already all right, they're good right where they are, being a good Jew, you're not praying for them to have a soft heart and come to Christ. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. The other thing it does is it allows people, again, like Greg Locke, to turn the political state of Israel into an idol, which, sure as you're born, that's what he's done. It's bad theology, and it's not good for the Jewish people if you actually care about them. That's the other thing. Modern Jews today are not anything like what the Jews were in Jesus' time. Talmudic Jews, the Jews who read the Talmud more often than they read the Torah, are not the same Jews as the Second Temple period. They're just not. They can't be. They don't have a temple. The Talmudic Judaism we see today really kind of coalesced about 400 years after Christ, about 200 years before Islam. And if you read it, it's a direct response. A lot of these debates you see the rabbis having are in direct response to the growing Christianity, which was, again, a mixture of Jews and Gentiles who followed Christ. So it's not the same Judaism. Stop saying it's biblical Judaism. It is not. Abraham would not recognize the Judaism of today. Moses would not recognize it. Hell, Peter wouldn't recognize it. Paul wouldn't recognize it. I'm fed up with the idea that if you level any kind of criticism at Israel at all whatsoever, you obviously despise the Jewish people and you hate Israel and you're an anti-Semite. It's fucking stupid. Pardon my French, I'm sorry, but it's dumb. Now, when it comes to what's happening in Gaza, Palestine, people may ask, what's your take on it? Who do you side with? I don't side with either of them. I don't side with the Muslim extremists who pulled off October 7th, and I don't side with the IDF that has been carpet bombing, basically, the Gaza Strip for 2 years now. I don't side with either of them. None. Neither of them. There's a third option. You know what the Middle East needs? Christianity. That's what it actually needs. In any case, I think that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, that'll do for now. Have a good Monday.